Hi, I'm Jessica D'Amber, host of Christmas at Home. It's a snowy day here in Pennsylvania, which makes it a great day for baking cookies. Today we're going to be baking my favorite Italian cookie, chocolate chip biscotti. There's nothing like a good cup of coffee with some homemade biscotti. The biscotti we know today are actually a centuries-old concept and comes from the medieval Latin word biscottus, meaning twice cooked or twice baked. Back then, twice-baked foods were popular because they are very dry and could be stored for long periods of time. This kind of food was useful during long journeys, and twice-baked breads were a staple food of the Roman legions. Yes, we are going to be baking our biscotti twice. First, you want to bring 1 stick of butter or half a cup of butter to room temperature. You want to bring 2 eggs, 2 large eggs to room temperature. You want to line 1 large baking sheet with parchment paper, which I've already done here. And finally, you want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Next, we're going to prepare our flour mixture before we move on to preparing everything else. So first, what you want to do is you want to get 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and you want to make sure you level it off perfectly. So scoop it out, and what I do usually is just take a knife and level it perfectly off, okay? Just like that. I need 2 cups of this. All right, and then we need to add 1½ teaspoons of baking powder. And then you want to just quickly whisk it together and make sure you get that baking powder all mixed into the flour mixture. That's it, and then you just want to set this aside, and then we're going to start mixing the rest of our ingredients. Now you want to get the mixing bowl from your mixer out, and you want to take just some plain white sugar. You want to get 3/4 cup of that. Put that on in. Then you want to get your stick of butter that you brought to room temperature earlier. And you want to put, just dump that right in. Okay. And you want to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay. And then finally you want to get a fresh lemon, and you're going to zest about half the lemon, which is about 1 teaspoon of lemon zest. Now, the lemon zest is what really makes the biscotti delicious. And you can also use an orange if you choose to use that, but this is a very key ingredient in making this biscotti, and it smells really good when you're zesting a fresh lemon. All right, so you just want about half of that. Okay. Just put that right. Love the smell of fresh lemon. Now that you have all the ingredients in the bowl, you want to put it in your mixer, and you want to use the flat beater attachment, which I have here. And you just want to turn the mixer on medium-high speed, and we're going to blend that butter and that sugar and that lemon zest all together. Just want to make it nice and creamy. You're just going to let that go for about a few minutes until it's nice and blended. And you're going to really smell that lemon in that mixture. It's a wonderful smell to have in your house, especially this time of year. I'm just going to slow it down for a second, and we're just going to scrape the bowl, sides of the bowl down. Just want to stop it. You want to make sure you're getting everything blended really well. Okay. And then just turn your mixer back on. Okay. can slow the mixer down to low speed. Because now you want to take those 2 eggs that you brought to room temperature and you're going to add them one at a time to the mixer. And keep it on low because the egg will splash up and get everywhere. But you want to add it and you want to make sure it gets blended very well before adding the next egg. And so just dump that in. I want to actually turn it up just a little bit. And you're going to want to scrape the sides of your bowl again. Make sure you don't leave anything behind. Scrape that down. Okay. Right, now we can get your next egg ready. Okay. And you just want to dump that egg in. All right, now while that's blending, next we're going to add 2 teaspoons of anise extract. This is going to give them a very, very good flavor. And I'm actually going to lower the speed just a little bit. And we're going to get 2 teaspoons. One more. I really love anise extract, so I use 2 teaspoons, but if you choose to use 1, it's up to your taste. But the smell, the aroma of the anise extract, it smells wonderful. Okay, just gonna let that blend. Next, we're gonna add the flour mixture that we whisked together earlier. And you're gonna wanna add this in 3 separate portions, okay? So put your mixer on low speed again. You don't splash it up everywhere. And just slowly add in, and I do it in about 3 portions, so. And just let each time, let the flour blend in until it's almost completely blended. Again, remember, you don't want to overmix your batter, okay? So the key here is get the flour in, and as soon as all the flour is blended in perfectly, then you know it's ready to go. Right, last bit. Okay. Right. Just let that go. I'm going to put it up just a little bit. Make sure it gets everything on the bottom of the bowl all mixed in. Okay. That's it, and as you can see, the flour is now perfect. You can't see any more flour, which you know. Okay, it's good to go. Okay, now for the fun part. So, you want to take the batter off the mixer stand. You want to scrape down the beater, get all of it off. Okay. And then, we're going to add the best part, chocolate chips. Now I add a lot of chocolate chips because I like chocolate chips. I'm sure you guys like chocolate chips too. Okay. All right. Scrape this down. All right, just set that there. All right, so we're just gonna dump the chocolate chips right on in, and you just want to stir them until they're well blended. Make sure you scrape the bottom of the bowl because you want to get them all mixed in pretty evenly. Now we're going to make the actual biscotti log. And so what I usually get a small bowl of just regular old tap water, because what you want to do is you want to wet your hands just a little bit, because this biscotti dough can get very sticky and it can get very, very messy. So using just a little bit of water helps. But you want to get all of this dough, and you're just going to dump it right on your pre-lined parchment paper. And make sure you get it all out of the bowl. gonna scrape my bowl down with my, okay, perfect. All right, I'm gonna wet my hands one more time. Just a little, you don't want to soak them, just dampen them. All right, so what you wanna do now is you wanna form your biscotti dough into a 13-inch long by 3 inches wide of a log. All right. Okay. Is it too thick in the middle? I have here my 13 by 3 inch log. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna put it in your preheated oven for 40 minutes. You just wanna get it to a lightly golden brown. Okay, so now the cookie is out of the oven. I cooked it for 40 minutes and then I let it cool for about 30 minutes. You want to get it nice and cool so you can cut the log. Now it looks perfect. It's a pale golden color. Looks delicious. I just want to take a bite of it just like this, but we have to put them back in the oven one more time. So now what you're going to do is you're just going to cut the log into about 1/2 inch thick pieces, 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch pieces. Okay? So just take a serrated knife and cut right into them. Okay, now you want to lay them back on your baking sheet, cut side down. And we're going to put them back in the oven for about 15 minutes at 350 degrees. Just want to cook them one more time, get them nice and golden brown. I'm just gonna pop them back in the oven, 15 minutes, and they're all done. All right, biscotti are all finished. Just take them out of the oven. All right, so what you wanna do now is you just wanna transfer them over to your cooling rack and let them cool for a little while. I like to let mine sit for about 24 hours before eating them because they taste better if they sit for a little while. You know, biscotti can make a perfect Christmas gift. All you have to do is take some biscotti, put them in a little cute gift basket, maybe add a fresh bag of coffee and maybe a coffee mug, wrap it in a nice pretty bow, and you have a perfect Christmas gift. And the best part is it's homemade. So who doesn't love fresh homemade cookies, especially biscotti? All right, so just keep going. All right, one's getting away from us. All right, so just let them sit here, bring them to room temperature. Let them sit for like 24 hours. I'm just gonna sit here with my cup of coffee, enjoy my biscotti, and watch the snow.